So yeah, hi guys. In this video, we'll be discussing about clocks. Okay. So first, let us draw the clock. Let us try to. Okay. Is it okay? Okay. Let us try. Okay. So on paper we can draw using compass and all, but on board it seems to be difficult. Okay. Okay. So here we used to have minutes hand, hours hand. Okay. So this is 12, this is 3, this is 6, and this will be 9. Okay. So this will be 1, this will be 2, let us suppose. Okay. So this will be 4, and this is 5, this is 7, this is 8, 9, 10, and this will be 11. Okay. Generally we used to have seconds hand also, but in most of the problems we will be dealing with minutes hand and hours hand. So that is why I have uh, given only these two hands. So this is called hours hand, or sometimes it is called short hand because of its size. Okay. So this is called minutes hand or long hand. Okay. So the questions from this concept will be like this. So what is the angle between a minute's hand and hour's hand when the time is let us suppose 3 o'clock. Okay, exactly this time. So what is the angle between them? So now by seeing the angle we can directly say 90 degrees, but generally if it was given like this 3:30. Okay. So what will be the angle between those two hands will be the questions. So for that we need to develop some formulas. So let us see those formulas. Okay. So each of these space are called spaces or sectors. This sector, this sector, this one. So each sector will be of equal size. So how many spaces you have? 12 spaces. 12 spaces. We can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 spaces. What is the angle of these 12 spaces correspond to? 360 degrees. Okay. So this entire angle is 360. Okay. If it is a straight one, then that would be 180. Since it is a complete angle, so this entire angle corresponds to 360 degrees, and we have 12 spaces. So each space or one space will correspond to 360 degrees by 12. That will give you 30 degrees. Okay. So that means this one and this one correspond to, like, I'll show you, correspond to 30 degrees of rotation. So not only this one, even this one or this one or this one or this one or any of the sector, all the sectors are equal. So each sector will correspond to 30 degrees. So by this we can say that let us suppose if this is here right now, it is 3 o'clock. Okay, now the time is 3 o'clock. If it is 4, then this will be pointing to 4. Okay, if the time is 4 o'clock, this hour's hand will be pointing to this one, and minutes hand will be pointing to the same position. Okay. So when you calculate the rotation made by the hour's hand or shorthand, will be 30 degrees. Why? Because it has moved from here to here. That means it's a sector or it's a space. So this space or sector correspond to 30 degrees of rotation we have seen already. So it has made 30 degrees of rotation. Okay. So with that concept, see, for 1 hour, our hand is making 30 degrees of rotation. Earlier it was here, later it has moved, after 1 hour it has moved to here. That means it has traveled a minute, it has traveled 30 degrees of rotation. Okay. So 1 hour in the sense 60 minutes. For 60 minutes it has traveled 30 degrees of rotation. So for 1 minute it will travel 30 by 60, that will be half a degree. Okay. So for 1 minute our hand will move half a degree. So this is the important note point you have to note down here. Okay. And other note point is that minutes hand in 1 hour it will make complete 360 degrees, right? So in 1 hour minutes hand will make 360 degrees, that we know already. So 1 hour in the sense 60 minutes, right? So in 60 minutes it is making 360 degrees of rotation. So for 1 minute, minutes hand will make 360 by 60, that corresponds to 6 degrees of rotation. So in 1 minute, minutes hand will make 6 degrees of rotation and hours hand will make half degree of rotation. So remember this result, both results are important. Okay. So now we shall see the angle between 3 o'clock and 3:30. Okay, at this point of time you need to calculate the angle between those two hands. So that will be the question. So let's start with the easy one, 3 o'clock. Okay, so 3 o'clock. So exactly we are on 3 o'clock. So how many sectors? 1, 2, 3. We know that each sector is 30 degrees, right? And we have 3 of them. So that will be 90. Easy. Okay. So now let's move on to 3:30. So if the time is 3:30, this one and this one will change its position. So this one will be pointing somewhere here. Let us suppose we don't know the exact position here. And this one will be pointing to 6 because it is 3:30. Okay. So how many sectors we have got? 1, 2. This is not complete sector. Okay, so you should not count that. So this one and this one. So 2 sectors. So so this is for 3:30. So that will be 2 sectors, right? So 2 into 30 plus we have this one. Okay. So for calculating this one we know already from 3 to 4 it is 30 degrees of rotation. So from 3 the hour's hand has moved to this point. So how much degrees or how much rotation has the hour's hand made will be given from by this formula. Okay. So for 1 minute it is making half a degree of rotation. So for 30 minutes, right? So for 30 minutes hour's hand will make 15 degrees of rotation, right? For 1 minute it is half, for 30 minutes it will be 15 degrees. So the rotation made is 15 degrees. This is 15. Okay. We want this one. We want this angle. This angle we got it. So how to get this angle? Entire angle is 30. This is 15. So this will be again 15. So now we got the answer here, 15 degrees. So 2 into 30 plus 15. Okay. So that will give you 60 plus 15. That will be 75 degrees. So this is the concept behind finding the angles between the shorter hand and longer hand when specific time is given. And we also have formulas. I mean, I'll give you the formula. So the formula is 30h minus 11 by 2m. H stands for hours, M stands for minutes. Okay. So first let us start with this one, 3 o'clock. So 30 into h. What is the h here? 3. And minutes is 0. So this will be 0. So directly we are getting 90. So that will be the angle we got. Okay. So for this 330, this will be 30. So 2 15s. This will be 90 minus 11 15s. Okay. So 11 tens will be 150 and 11 ones will be 15. So that will be 165. 165. And remember, this formula has got modulus. Okay. So 165 minus 90, that will be 75 degrees. Okay. So here remember there is a modulus operator. That is why we are getting only positive values here. Okay. So we got the same answer here and here. So you can use this formula, but as usual, for every formula there will be some exceptional cases. So let us see those exceptional cases. Let us suppose if the time is 12:30. Okay. If the time is 12:30, so this will be pointing somewhere here. Okay. Let us suppose we need to find out this angle. So if it is 12:30, it will be 12 and this will be 30. So again this will be 165 and this one will be 12 3 is 36, 360 minus 165. So the answer will be 0 minus 5 will be 5 and 15 minus 6 will be 9 and 2 minus 1 will be 195. So 195 degrees. I mean, this formula is giving you the angle between the shorter hand and longer hand. Okay. So it is showing 195 degrees. If you go by the traditional method, the method which we have seen earlier, so it is showing that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 sectors. So that will be 5 into 30. Okay, 5 into 30 because each sector corresponds to 30 degrees. Okay, so we have 5 sectors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and this one we need to calculate this space. Okay, so from here to here, since it is 12:30, that means for 30 minutes of time, the hour's hand will make 50 degrees. We have seen it already. So once again I'll tell you. So for 1 minute it will make half a degree of rotation. For since the time is 12:30, that means for 30 minutes it will make half of it, which means 50 degrees. So it has moved from here to here for 15 degrees. We know that this complete sector will be 30 degrees. So the rest will also be 30 minus 15, which will be 15 degrees. So 5 into 30 plus 50 degrees. You know 5 into 30 for these sectors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sectors. Okay. So 150 plus 15, which is 165 degrees. Okay. Here it is showing 165 degrees, but from the formula it is showing 195 degrees. Which one is correct? So in that situation, when the formula is showing 195 degrees, you have to perform 360 minus 195. So that one will be 5. 15 minus 9 will be 6 and 165. Okay. So now we are getting the right answer. So whenever you got the angle greater than 180 degrees, okay, if the answer is greater than 180, then you have to perform one more step, that is 360, take the complement of the angle. So here, see, this answer is not wrong answer, this is also a correct answer, but it is giving you reflex angle. Okay, sometimes in the formula you will get the reflex angle. We want this angle, but we are getting this angle. If you subtract this angle from what? From 360, you will get this angle. That is what we are doing here. So we are subtracting from 360 because we are getting this reflex angle. In order to get the original angle, you just need to subtract from 360. Okay. So whenever it is whenever you get the angle above 180, then you need to just subtract it from 360 so that you will get the original angle. So remember the condition, when the angle is more than 180, not more than or equal to. Okay, even if the angle is 180, then it would be fine. Only if the angle is greater than 180, that means from 181, 182 all the way up to 360. So if your angle is greater than 180, then you need to subtract it from 360, because entire angle is 360, you are getting the reflex angle. So if you subtract from 360, you will get the remaining angle, which is the original angle. Okay. So that is the exception, and but the traditional method which we used to calculate the sectors or spaces, right, and calculate the movement made by the hour's hand and calculating the rest of the angle. So that traditional method will give you correct answer always. Since if you in the examination you feel it very time taking, so we have this formula. So this formula has got some exception, that whenever it is greater than 180, if the angle is greater than 180, you just need to subtract it from 360. Okay. In rest of the cases, like if you get the answer as 115 degrees here in the step, you can stop right away here. Okay. No need to perform this last step. You can perform this last step only when you got the angle greater than 180 degrees. Okay, remember that step. So this formula is important. Remember, this formula has got modulus here. So what does modulus do? Even if you got the negative values, it will give you the positive values. Okay, and there are three important formulas in this concept. First important formula is, for 1 minute, hour's hand will make half a degree, and for 1 minute, minute's hand will make 6 degrees of rotation. And this formula, what is this? 30h minus 11 by 2 m. So these three formulas are important. Okay.